There was a question this after Wilton, which I think was talking about the getting manufacturers to come who should maintain it. All right, I didn't get that question well, whether it was on sensors or monitors. My contribution to that, if it's sensors, because they are low-cost sensors, for example, you spend $300 to buy a sensor, I don't think you want to pay $5,000 someone air ticket to come and repair that sensor. You just throw it away and get a new one. If it's a monitor that costs you maybe $30,000, $40,000, then you have to build in a maintenance plan. You either send your technicians to go there and they train them so that you always have someone here, or you fly them in to come and help you solve it. Or these days, it's easier to do a video conferencing or Zoom to get this problem solved. So that's why we have built in ours, to ensure that once there's a problem and our EPA colleagues is there, we have a regular maintenance schedule for the reference monitors. And then we also have cleaning activities of the sensors. Because if you see the sensors, I mean, around this time, they are very dirty. So you blow the dust away, clean them a bit, and that's it. In some of the projects, other projects we do, because they are plant tower, we just, after we see it's degrading, we move this plant tower, put in another one, have it recalibrated, and then that's it. So we've started doing that. Any other question? Yeah, more hands.
All right, so right here. Thank you very much. Prof, and then your team, I would like to commend you for a great job you're doing. In fact, to really put this up in a year, and then also the direction that you want to take it to from, all the achievements that you've made so far, I think that's very commendable. But then I have a question to James. When you were showing the data, I was a bit curious on the pattern you showed. Maybe the question will make sense if I get to understand whether the sensors you were using for the, you were sort of comparing against the reference were different sensors. If they were different, then of course you notice that there are some patterns which are similar within these three sensors, but then it's not captured by the reference. Isn't that raising a bit of question on the reference then?
I think first and foremost, it had the same sensors as plant tower sensors. So what you saw there, that's the missing pattern, was not, there were no available data for the sensors, right? So
you had the trends, the whole time series shown, and then later you showed some sort of regression of a sort, all right? And then from there you came down to trying to increase your time domain. You did a resampling, all right? And then that reduced, it still maintains the signature, reduces all the variabilities in a way. Yes, but then the question is with regards to the patterns that we see, which are quite similar between these three different low-cost sensors, but then the reference rather shows something slightly different. And that's why I'm a bit curious.
So I think I would say that it had the same pattern, but the sensors were overestimating the PM2.5 values. So you saw them up while the reference monitor was just below it, right? So if you do your correction, those up will come down to where we have the reference values. Okay? So these were just showing the raw sensor values without a calibration. Yes, these were all uncorrected values of the sensors. So this makes sense. These are okay to show how they are doing during our testing period. Okay? Okay, right? Okay.
Yeah, just to add, like he said, they are uncorrected. We haven't corrected for temperature, already humidity. So this is uncorrected. When we correct it, then we'll correct for temperature, already humidity. But I think I want to make clear that this is just one manufacturer that sent us 3 sensors, the same sensors. So they are not different sensors, okay? So this is just one of them. And I think I want to add that, like Wilton said, we are not here to compare manufacturers against manufacturers. No. All we do is that we do our evaluation, we make it open to the public, public goes there, see how the sensors perform, and make an informed decision. But we are not going to recommend. I had some requests to recommend which sensors should be used for a certain project. And I told them, no, we cannot do that. All right, that is not our mandate. And that is, we have that with all the manufacturers, that we are not going to rank sensor manufacturer. That is not our protocol or our business. Thank you.
Yeah, James, my question is also to you, and it's like, who watches the watchman? And what I mean by that is you have a reference monitor sensor, and if I look at your facility there, I think you have like 2 or so. So at what point do you determine that your reference sensors or monitors are not okay to be able to judge the ones that you want to calibrate?
Okay, thank you for the question. Yes. In fact, that's why I went to NALU. In fact, in NALU, they have so many reference monitors. And they have the guys to maintain these monitors. In fact, I was so amazed to be trained on how to maintain like the TIOM. But they have a vast number of TIOMs that they are using in different stations. They also have the Teledyne and others where they are kind of they are maintaining and deploying. So here we know how to maintain them. So 6 months, we have to go up there and maintain it. What we need to do to make sure that they are up to standard for our evaluation. Yes, everything. Yes, everything there. So we know this. We know that they are downgrading.
Yeah, and for the reference monitors, we have also a standard operating procedure for that, along with the EPA, that we regularly make sure that the sensors are recalibrated, the monitors are calibrated, they are clean, and to ensure that they are working optimum. Yeah.
Thank you, Prof. and your team at the Afri-SET. I think it's good to know that we have such a facility here in Accra. And the point I want to make is about this is the first probably in the whole of sub-Saharan Africa, and it's also a setting that is quite different from other regions in the world. So to have this is exciting. Especially yesterday I was making a contribution towards the promising nature of low-cost sensors, and I believe this will go a long way in that regard. But then I'm curious to know about the preliminary report. I'm sure the 12 manufacturers that have come, they will have also a profile of how their sensors work and what vis-a-vis what we are finding. Is it comparable? And then also whether there is some conflict to manage in this relationship. Thank you.
Let me just say, look, yeah, it's like you want to start eating the cake early. We are now evaluating. We've done some preliminary ones. Like I said, our reports will be made public, okay? And we are hoping that even the manufacturers will have access to the data. That's why we agree, and they can do their own corrections and compare with what we have done. So it would be too early to start saying whether they are performing or not performing. In fact, we are deliberate in just saying sensor 1, 2, and 3. We don't want to go ahead of our time. So please look out, watch out for what is coming out very soon. We'll have the information circulated widely when it is on the website. Yeah.
Thank you, James, for your presentation. You make mention in one of your presentations that models were created to calibrate the sensors. I think in the...
I was trying to say that we will create models. That's either machine learning models or maybe simpler ones. And they all will be put on our website for download, and also to have data for your own corrections if you want to do that.
Thank you.
Let me help you. So you realize that at the back of your card, you see pilot study. So this was a pilot study done at that site with Professor Westerville and other partner. So just do a QR code, scan this, and you have access to that report. And you see the kind of things that you can look out for. Yeah, so we've put the QR code here, just scan it, and then you get all the information there. Yeah.